Boom, 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 boom. Now I'm just playing. Welcome back to Coffee with Caden, Season 2, Episode 2. We gangsta with it. Nah, I'm just playing. I got a lot in store for you today. A lot of fun stuff, a lot of exciting announcements of life and what we're going to be talking about today. Hopefully you guys don't mind the Lakers hat with my purple shirt. I thought it was kind of a nice little twist on what I got going on today, you know. Nice little look. Today we're rocking with a Starbucks. Sad day, huh? Sad day. My roommate told me there was a new nitro almond cold brew. There's not, so I'm stuck with this. So I went there for that to try it out and tell you guys how it is. And the guys looked at me like I was a freaking psychopath. So if you're my roommate and you watch this, I'm gonna fight you. Simple as that. Pretty easy, pretty simple. It's just gonna be hands on site, and we're gonna go from there. Yeah, exactly. We are gonna go from there, and I'm going to whoop your butt. No, I'm just kidding. I got a caramel macchiato, oat milk, obviously, as always, and we're gonna enjoy every bit of this coffee, even though it is from Starbucks. Okay. Just to get me started, I got some purple shorts on today. Purple shirt, purple in the hat, a little bit of yellow, just a tiny bit though, as you can see. Mustache is rocking. I'm rocking. We're doing what we can to be beautiful, and some days, which is pretty much every day for me, it's a struggle. But we're here, right? Anyways, today's topic. We got a lot going on, a lot flustering in my head, and I just kind of want to get it out or get it in. So we're going to be talking about sex again, baby. So, but this is like more like my brain trying to wrap around like the concept of sex. Like, to me, sex is not, doesn't have to be emotional connection to have sex. Like, I don't think you should just be like, oh, well, I can't have sex because I have no emotional connection with them. No, like, if you connect with somebody in a sexual manner and you're okay with being open in that sense, then I believe that, hey, have sex, have fun. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And that kind of leads into a lot of different topics, because we're sitting here thinking and we're just like, well, is everything about sex? Well, I don't think so. I think you can have multiple relationships with people. Would you stop moving around, Fox? My dog's over here being uncomfortable, I guess. I think that you can. I don't really want to say multiple relationships but although some people can do that, that's perfectly fine. I'm not against that at all, because I've been there. But I believe that sex can be used as a tool, an object. It can be used as a way to get away, which is kind of weird to think about. But honestly, like, you really can sit here and use sex as like a scapegoat. Like, you have a stressful day and you go have some nice casual sex, I guarantee your day's going to be a little bit better. Fox, quit licking. I'm going to kill this dog. Nah, just kidding. I love this dog, but he's a weirdo. He licks everything. You're ruining the sex podcast. I wish he would come and hang out with me and just like sit on another chair right next to me. That'd be so cool. But he's too like jittery for that. Anyways, like, coming into like the thought process of like sex itself, I think you have to be open with the person that you're having sex with. That's the bottom line. Like, you have to get that out of the way. Like, you cannot have sex with somebody without being open with them, because you don't know what their intentions are. And I think that's the best part about sex and sexual relations, is that you have to be able to create that relationship with them, right? But you can't create that relationship with them if you're hiding a lot of what's going on in your life to be in their life. You know what I mean? Because if somebody doesn't want to be like in an open type sexual relationship, then they shouldn't have to be. If they're trying to just like settle down, be with that one person and love on that one person, then that's on them. That's the life that they're trying to live. They don't have to live by your rules and your life. And that's something that I feel like I've always been fairly good at doing. Obviously, it can become a little difficult once you start to have sex, and like if it's becoming like very, very casual sex. Then it gets a little tricky. We'll get into that, but biggest thing I think is when you're starting and you're like making these connections with people and you're like, okay, well, I think we're gonna have sex, right? Kind of a weird thing to say. Oh, I think we're gonna have sex. Well, you need to start like breaking down the walls and like laying down like the groundwork. Like, hey, it's pretty serious that like we're both ready to have sex. But like, if you're looking for a relationship and nothing, and you want a relationship and you don't just want sex, and your other partner does, that needs to be communicated. Because if the other person doesn't know that you want a relationship, and then you're going in there like, oh, like sex is cool, whatever, like we can do this, and then you get mad at them later on down the road because they're like, well, I didn't want a relationship with you, then that's an issue, right? Stop. This dog, I don't know why he licks everything. It stresses me out. He better go outside. No, for real though. I think that, and I've had this issue before where I started into something and it was solely off of just like a sexual relationship, right? Like that's how it started. That's how it was supposed to end. Whatever. And I ended up catching feelings, and I'm like, okay, well, like, maybe we should take this further. And then they're just like, no. And I'm like, oh, well, shit. Break my heart, why don't you? Like, what? I guess I'm worthless. Not good enough. Only just good for sex. But that can be resolved, right? With laying down the groundwork. And an issue behind that is people do catch feelings. And that's just the reality of life. Like, you can't control somebody's feelings. Like, somebody could sit there and say that they don't have feelings for somebody for 5 years or whatever, and one day they're just like, holy crap, I love this person. Whatever. We're not talking about love, because love's silly and it's made up, and I don't think it's real. That might have been a joke. May have not. I'm not sure yet in my life. As of right now, I don't know if I believe in it. But that's just me. Another thing, though, when it comes to sex is, are you allowed to have more than one partner? Well, that gets tricky, right? I think you are. I think you truly are allowed to have more than one partner. But again, you have to lay down that groundwork. You have to let them know, like, hey, like, you're not the only person I'm sleeping with. As long as you're clean and, like, doing what you're supposed to do, that's somebody who is, I guess, sexually active, like getting tested or whatever, right? Like, if you're doing the right things, I don't think you're in the wrong. But you also still have to let that person know, like, hey, especially, this is the number one thing, especially if you're having unprotected sex. That's when you have to be like, okay, like, I had sex with somebody 2 days ago. We didn't use a condom, blah, blah, blah. You should let that person know that you're sleeping with tonight or whatever. Know that, like, hey, I just had sex. And, I mean, you could have caught something from them within that 2 days. You don't even know it yet. And then you're passing around, whatever, right? But, like, break the stigma of, like, STDs. Like, get tested. It's not that big of a deal. Especially if you're sexually active. It's not that big of a deal because hopefully you're going to come back negative. I would say 9 times out of 10 you're going to come back negative. And most of the times it's a little pill and antibiotics and you're good to go. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It is when you're spreading it around, though. And that's where you need to communicate with people like, hey, you're not the only person I'm sleeping with, right? On top of that, though, it's you need to let them know if you're being open in your sexual life, because the fact that, like, hey, like, maybe they don't want to be a part of that. Even if they just want casual sex with just you, people are allowed to have just casual sex with one person. I feel like that is totally allowed. Like, you, as a person, should be able to enjoy these things in life as, like, hey, like, we are grown-ups. We can enjoy sex. But if you want to be casual with just one person, like, that is totally your life. You're allowed to make those decisions for yourself. And your partner that you're sleeping with can't make those decisions for you. They can't be like, well, I'm going to go do whatever I want. I'm going to go sleep with whoever I want. Be like, okay, well, then I don't want to sleep with you anymore. And they can't get mad about that. Like, that's the thing, is like, they can't be mad at you for not wanting to be with them if you're not fitting into their lifestyle. And that's what it comes down to, is like a big lifestyle thing. And it's just truly like how you go about it. Going on lifestyle thing, open relationships. Those are very touchy subjects. It's weird because, in a sense, you don't really have a say. Well, let's look at it as like the third party person. If you are the outside of the relationship, so here's a relationship, right? You're this guy or girl, and you got this relationship over here, but they're open. As long as both of them know that that's the thing, is the relationship, they both have to know that the relationship's open, right? Which is fine. Like, you have to break that ground rules with somebody. But my thing is, you, this third party person, you don't dictate what happens in an open relationship at all. You are almost invited into this open relationship. So say you are a man and a woman approaches you and she's in a relationship and you're like, well, are you cheating? Like, why would you cheat on your boyfriend? Like, most men are gonna be, oh, whatever, I'll fuck her, I don't care. That's dumb. Don't do that. I will admit, I've been there, and it is a very shitty situation to be in. You feel like a terrible person, and honestly, like, it's not worth it, for one. Like, just to get, like, your nut, like, that is not, it's not worth, one, ruining relationships, two, like, causing problems, three, I'll throw this out there. I did not know she was in a relationship. I was told afterwards. So yeah, that was kind of on her, kind of on me, because I was told that they weren't together. So whatever, like, that's life. You live and you move on and whatever, right? Here's the thing, though. So when it comes to open relationships, the two over here that are in a relationship, or three or four, whatever, whatever their relationship standing is, they're dictating what is allowed in their relationship, because that's what they're allowed to do. That's the life they live. But you, third party person, you're almost just a toy. And that's the way I want to look at it. If you are the third party person involved into an open relationship, you are a toy. You are, as a woman or a man, you are just there solely for sex. And I would say sometimes it's a little different, because they might even just like you as like an emotional connection thing, which is fine. Like, that's, like I said, that is what they're dictating. But like, you, as a third party person, please don't get involved in any like emotional connections between open relationships. That just sounds terrible. I haven't been a part of that, but that's literally sounds terrible. But when it comes to sex, like, I feel like if I'm a man and this woman is like, hey, I would like to sleep with you, and I'm like, okay, well, what are my criteria? You're hot. Hopefully you're good in bed. And what is number 3? Just don't be a fucking complete piece of shit to me. Simple as that. Right? And like, as somebody who has sex, like, I'm not saying I have sex every night. That would be cool, but that sounds like a relationship to me, which also sounds kind of cool sometimes. But that I like to, just hang out and do some things and just chill, work on my life. And when you involve sex, sometimes it takes away from that. Regardless, though, being the third party, like, you literally are just like their toy. You are there whenever they, like, say as a man, she texts you or whatever, and she's like, hey, I want you right now. Like, guess what? You either take it or you decline it. Like, it's not that hard. But if you take it, you know that it's nothing more than just sex. It is, unless you're like being brought into the relationship by both of them. It is nothing more than sex. But what I've learned from this is that the relationship couple, they have very, very like strict boundaries, and which is cool. It's allowed. I believe that. Sorry, it's just so tasty. It's not that tasty, but it's coffee, and I love coffee, so it is what it is. What I've found though is that they do set like pretty strict boundaries. Like a lot of them, they'll do like I don't know, like a day pass or a week pass, whatever, and then that's when they're allowed to go and get their sexual fantasies fulfilled or whatever it is. And then it comes down to, okay, well, when is this allowed? Because some people are like, whether they're in a relationship where they could be living in different states, and that could be something, right? Or they could be living together. And if you're living together, it's kind of hard for like the woman to either leave the house and come to your third party's house and have sex, or as a third party going to their house. Like, you obviously have to like set these boundaries between the people, and like the people in the relationship are the ones that are creating these boundaries. So you, third party, just know if you're ever going to get involved in anything like this, please, please, please know that 1, you're just an object, you're a sex toy, don't catch feelings, okay? 2, you don't fucking dictate anything in that relationship, okay? Like, this is not your life, this is their life, and they're bringing you into it to have some fun. And that's what it is. 3, have fun, okay? Like, it's simple. Like, it's not that hard. Just have some fun. It's your life. Live it how you want to, okay? And this is, I'm only saying, like, male, female, because, like, I'm a male, right? I'm speaking as, like, if I was a male in this third-party situation, like, that's how I would handle it. If you're a woman, same kind of concepts, honestly, and it's just make sure that you are, because I think what it comes down to is like, I don't know, it's hard because I think men are a little bit more manipulative in relationships. Like, men tend to cheat a little bit more. Don't know why. I don't know if that's actually a true statistic, but it seems like that is the trend, is that men typically cheat a little bit more. Or women are just really good at hiding it. I don't know. I really don't know. But, yes, like, as a woman, getting involved into an open relationship with a man that has a wife or whatever, or girlfriend, whatever, just know that, like, you have to, like, I would not say reach out to the wife, because that's not part of it, but, like, at least kind of, like, make sure he verbalizes, like, oh, yeah, like, I'm on a week pass, like, my wife allows this, whatever. Like, as long as you're kind of like putting your P's and Q's together, like, so be it. Have your fun, do what you want, right? Other than that, that's all I'm going to talk about with the open relationship thing. Kind of just wanted to, like, I've had a couple people talk to me about it before, because, like, people are like, how do you feel about it? I'm like, I mean, personally, if I was to settle down, I don't think I would want that, because it's like, if I am married and have a kid, I feel like that just gets, like, really, like, messy, right? Like, having a kid involved, and, like, who is this woman keep coming into that house, Dad? And I'm like, well, I don't know, it's just my friend, right? It just gets weird. Even if your wife is totally okay with it, it's still weird to me. Not, and I think that's where, I think it's only like the kid thing. The kid thing is where you're, like, drawing the line. I think once you have kids, it's kind of like, maybe an open relationship's not for you anymore. But that's just my personal take on it. If you are in an open relationship and you have kids and a happy marriage or whatever, kudos, right? Like, good for you. This is your life. Live it how you want to. Besides that, I'm kind of done talking about open relationships. If you want to live them, that's fine. If you don't, so be it. Just verbalize, like, who you are and what you want in your life, and I think everything's okay. I think that's the biggest thing that comes down to pretty much any issue in the world is communication. Just, like, if you're going to talk to somebody, like, communicate, verbalize, like, what it is that you actually want, right? And I think it makes life a little bit easier. So good. So good. Okay, I'm going to kind of dabble into another topic really quick. And that's toys. I'm not talking about this third-party person who is the toy, right? That person, that third-party person this is not the same toy we're talking about here. We're talking about actual toys for the bedroom. You see a lot of scrutiny on like social media from like men, like, oh, well, if he needs toys in the bedroom, then he's just not doing it right. And I'm like, bro, one, you're dumb. Two, it takes women a long time. Statistically, it takes them a long time to get off. As a male, I know, because I am one, I could probably get off in 2 minutes if I really, really wanted to. Or a minute. Like, it's kind of just like my choice when I get off. I'm like, yeah, like this feels good. I'm just going to do this, and then boom. Fireworks. Every time. That's what it's like. It's just fireworks. I have fireworks in my pants. Or shorts. As of right now, I'm wearing shorts. So I got fireworks shorts. So if anybody wants to know what fireworks shorts like, go down the hallway and my bedroom's first door or second door. Don't go in the first door. Second door on the left, yeah. So fireworks, pants, fireworks shorts. No, I'm just kidding. Realistically, though, I think toys should be like a man's best friend. I think it should be a tool to get your woman off. And like as a male, like you should be like, yeah, like I want to get my woman, especially if you're in a relationship. There should be no reason why you're in a relationship and your woman is not getting off. That makes no sense to me. Like, you are a bad partner if your woman's not getting off, especially if you're in a relationship. Hookups, like, you want to be a dirtbag and don't get your woman off, like, that's on you, buddy. Like, whatever. That's your life. You chose to be a dirtbag. You should want to get your woman off, though. Whether she's a one-night stand or as a male. This is me talking to a male because women don't really have a problem getting men off because it's super easy for men to get off. Okay, right? It's pretty simple. Unless they have some kind of issues and, like, you work around that. Okay? Like, it's as simple as that. But realistically, it's not super, super hard to get a woman off. Like, a big thing it comes down to is communication. Like, what does a woman like? Like, do what she likes, not what you like. That's how you get her off, buddy. Like, it's pretty simple. But toys elevate that so much. And it's just like, you could do something as simple as like handcuffs might arouse a woman a little bit more. Like, it's something that simple. But obviously, like, something that's going to stimulate her body is going to work a little bit better than something that might just, like, be exciting to her, if that makes sense. So, like, if you were to use a vibrator, right? I think a vibrator would be something that's super cool to use with a woman because it works 9 times out of 10. Like, from personal experiences, little vibrators and having sex and using it as, like, your little Robin to your Batman because she's still going to love Batman. Everybody still loves Batman, but everybody still appreciates Robin, right? So just be the Batman because she's going to love you. But have your Robin sidekick because she's going to appreciate it. And everybody appreciates Batman a little bit more when he's got help from Robin. Like, right? Am I Fox, my dog fell asleep. Finally. But realistically, like, a toy should be your best friend. It really should. And I have used all sorts of toys, like a paddle, a whip, a little neck choker thing that ties to the handcuffs to the feet, like it's the whole thing. I've never really gotten into ropes because, like, to tie up the hands and feet, maybe, like, yeah, like I've done that. That's cool, but the whole bondage thing seems very difficult to me, so I've never, like, really gotten into it. So that has been a no. But if somebody wants to teach me, like, the second door on the left, that is my room, I would love to learn. I love learning everything. Like, learning to me is a great tool, no matter what kind of learning it is. And I've used vibrators. I've used butt plugs. Not on me. I'm a woman. All right. I don't know if I have reached that point in my life yet where I want things entering there. Maybe one day. Like, I'm open. Like, I'm pretty open when it comes to sex. Like, it just takes the right person, I think, for a lot of sexual experiences. And that's what it comes down to. Like, really takes the right person to be able to do these fun things. I've used a cock ring. That's pretty cool because, like, you ain't really got to do much work and the woman gets off pretty quick. That one's pretty cool. I like that one a lot. Yeah, I've used ball gags. I've used a lot of stuff, okay? Like, there's probably a lot more to the list that I could go on and on about, but we're just not going to. My biggest takeaway is that you should enjoy toys as a man just as much as the woman does. And, like, to me, it's just like, at a certain point, if you're really trying to get a woman off, that's some work sometimes. It really can be some work. Like, sitting here, like, going down on her and doing a 2-finger combo with a tongue flickety dick, or not the flickety dick, but the flickety lickety. It gets tiring sometimes. I'm down there for like 10 minutes. Oh my god, my fucking mouth is sore. I got a locked jaw. No, I'm just kidding. I'll go forever, baby. I just winked, if you couldn't tell. Sorry. But yeah, no, I think sex is fun. I think sex is a cool tool for two partners to be able to get off and enjoy life a little bit more, because to me, sex is fun, and I think it is something that's a cool experience for a lot of people. But remember, it's not about you, men and women. Okay, like, if a man is treating you right and getting you off, it's not always about you either, okay? Worry about your man sometimes. Because sometimes they down in the dumps, just hold them a little bit. Do some little extra freaky deaky stuff. Be freaky in the bedroom. Ain't nobody watching. Enjoy it. Do what you guys want. Spit a little, slap a little, choke a little. Enjoy it. That's sex. You're supposed to enjoy it. Nah, I'm just playing though. I mean, not really. All of that, very truthful. Every single thing that was in the past over that way, I stand by it 100%. Thank you for watching Coffee with Caden. Didn't even really make a dent in my coffee today, but that's okay. I was very excited to talk about this topic because it's one I will definitely come back to in a couple more, maybe even in this season still. But I'll get back to it for sure. I like this topic. I can talk about sex forever because sex is cool, and I think everybody should enjoy sex. Animals have sex all the time, and they don't care. So we're all animals, honestly. So. Honestly, love you. Peace, love, happiness. Ha 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 ha. Thanks for coming. Like, subscribe. If you made it all the way to the end, I love you even more. So just thank you. Thank you. Until next time, which is going to be the following week. I'll see you again. Goodbye.